everyone, welcome back from Top of the Wall. My name is Mason Up, and we have another deck today! We have Esper Affinity Flyers. I'm calling it Fighter Jet. So in Fighter Jet, the plan is to play some flyers. Play some very powerful flyers and just start gunning things down, gunning down our opponent, beating them up, and going at it. That's really the big game plan here. And for our flyers, for starters, one of our most powerful ones, 2 mana, 1/1, human soldier with Metalcraft. As long as we control 3 or more artifacts, it gets +2/+2 in flying. So for 2 mana, we get a 3/3 flyer. And considering that we have 14 artifacts and 12 of our lands are artifacts, and we have another 4 artifact creatures over here, we have 30 artifacts in the deck. So Metalcraft, not a big hill to climb. Next, we got the Core Skyfisher, a great way to gain a little bit of card advantage. We can end up returning these golden eggs, or we can end up returning the Witching Well or the Prophetic Prism, get some card advantage. We have Tide Hollow Strix, not as strong as a body, but it is a Death Touch creature, which will work out great for us with Trinket Mage and Trinket Mage's ability to go get Viridian Longbow, so we can have a poison arrows kind of deck. We can literally just start shooting things out of the sky with a Tide Hollow Strix Poison Arrow combo, a combo that a lot of decks will actually just scoop it up to. And if that's not enough, we have a Gearseeker Serpent, 5/6 for 7. However, it has pseudo affinity, so its cost gets reduced by 1 for every artifact that we control. So out of our 30 artifacts, its cost a lot of times will just go right down to 2, and we immediately just get like this 5/6 for 2 mana that can be unblockable and get in, destroy our opponent immediately. Now the other things that Trinket Mage can get, besides the Viridian Longbow, just a one of, is we can get the 2 Witching Well for card advantage, and we can get the Flare Husk, a great way to catch up in the game because we can get 2 blockers for 1 card, and this creature does leave behind its power and toughness to be re-equipped to another creature, making our long game much better. Executioner's Capsule, just a one of, but it's a one of hard removal spell. Next we got some counterspells, just 3 counterspells, but 4 Metallic Rebuke, a card that can act as a counterspell that's hard for our opponent to detect. Then as a good value card, we got 2 Thoughtcast. For 5 mana, we get to draw 2 cards. Not great, however, it does have affinity for artifacts, so every 1 artifact we have, its cost goes down by 1. Meaning, 1 blue mana, we draw 2 cards later in the game. We got 2 Golden Egg, a card that replaces itself, cantrips, and it can be used to cycle or gain us some life if we need it desperately against a particularly aggressive opponent. And we have 4 Prismatic Prophetic Prisms. I do that every time. Ah, God, a good filter for our 3-color deck that we are likely going to need, and cantrips to replace itself. Now, for our lands, we have 4 Ancient Den, 4 Seed of the Synod, and 4 Vault of Whispers. These are the Esper artifact lands. We have 4 of each of them. They help with our affinity, so we can actually reduce the cost of some of our cards and get closer to Metalcraft and really just make our overall game plan a lot faster. But we do need some fixing, so we have the Dismal Backwaters, 4 Dismal Backwaters, and 4 Tranquil Coves. We don't need a crazy ton of fixing. Thankfully, we have Prophetic Prism in the deck. Mana should not be a big deal for us. But onto the sideboard, the things that we are afraid of. I gotta say, Boggles. Boggles. I'm not liking Boggles. God, they are fast and they can outclass us. It's difficult for us to deal with Boggles. We have to be very reliant on our counter magic to fight them. We have Circle of Protection black and green for the black matchups and for the green matchups. It is very, very irritating to get Pestilence out of the game and not be able to do anything against our opponent, who's just constantly beating us down for a bunch of life, and they're slowly gaining back theirs. But we can make it one-sided, so their Pestilence only affects their life total. We have Circle of Protection green, which is a way to help us fight Boggles and to help us fight the green Stompy decks. Now remember, this doesn't actually say target. Choose Gladecover Scout or Slippery Bogle and say, oh, it can't deal damage to us. Dispel for the counterspell matchups, Hydroblast to fight Mono Red and Burn. Nikiro's Stealth Suit helps us against the removal heavy matchups like Blue Black Delver and Skred Fairies or Scred Delver. Prismatic Strands is good against some of the combo decks like Tireless Tribe, for instance. If they try to one-shot us out of the game, we can say, no, protection from a color. They'll have to tap down our white creatures in addition to all of our lands, saving us a good bit of trouble. The 2 Relic of Progenitus is to fight Tron and other kind of graveyard decks like Dredge, for instance, that we can tutor out with our Trinket Mage. Vidalcan Surtarch, or Cornstarch, as I like to call him. Cornstarch is a great sort of icy manipulator on a 1/1 body for 1, as long as we have Metalcraft, which easy enough to get. He's a very interesting sideboard card against the aggressive matchups. He can tap down their creatures. He always taps down their best creatures or taps down the 1 color of land that they desperately needed. If you like what you saw, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to share this with somebody who would also enjoy it. And if you have any comment, or you maybe think that there's another way that I could be playing this deck, or another way that I could be building it, or some kind of neat deck idea that you'd like to see made, let me know in the comments down below. There's also in the description a link to this deck list on tap.net. Thanks for watching, and come on in for that face touch.